to the North American Wrestling Association. And Gene, what an exciting card we have for the folks tonight. Dean Malenko, the Nasty Boys, the debut of Ranger Ross. That should be a hot one.
Ranger Ross, one of the top quality athletes in America today. A great background.
And Gene, you know, we've been talking about this for the last several weeks. Tonight we will be switching to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That is the site of the North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship Tournament. We will catch it in progress. That will be coming up later on in the program. Right now, let us switch it over to our ring announcer, Fabian Fuentes, for our matches tonight.
Now making their way to the ring, weighing 660 pounds from New York City, here are the Nasty Boys. Their opponents, weighing 230 pounds from Los Angeles, California, here is Hollywood Tommy Landell. His partner, weighing 240 pounds from Fort Walton Beach, Florida, Mike Servich.
Well, this promises to be an exciting match. Mike Servich and Tommy Landell teaming up together to take on the likes of Knobs and Sags, the Nasty Boys, Gene. And these guys have made an impression on fans that are watching them week after week. They're plain nasty. There's no surprise as to where they got that moniker from.
I tell you, a name like Knobs and Sags, you sort of wonder where they come from. But two nasty boys, you can't find two nastier guys.
No, sir. And then, of course, as is the case, every time the bell rings, you've got two of them inside the ring, taunting the fans. They wrestle the fans verbally before they get into the ring against their opponent. It looks like Knobs will be in the ring first. Knobs, that's Sags you just got a picture of. Knobs, no, in fact, now Knobs goes outside of the ring. And it appears that maybe Sags will be the first nasty in the ring. He'll be in there against Mike Servich. Servich is an outstanding competitor, Gene. We've seen him wrestle several times in the North American Wrestling Association, and he's a good one. Referee for this event is Byron Richard, right now ordering one of the two nasties out of the ring. And as I said at the beginning, it looks like it's Knobs that's going to start it off. Byron Richard going to have his hand full tonight. And you can see the fans already starting the taunt. The Nasty Boy.
They sort of asked for it, didn't they?
They sure did. I mean, when you come in here with that kind of an attitude, don't expect to be given a standing ovation. The bell is rung. Servich wearing the red trunks. Knobs of the Nasty Boys, collar and elbow in the middle of the ring. Into the ropes they go, and Byron Richard calls for the break. And, whoa, nice reversal. Servich obviously has seen the Nasties in action so many times that he was not surprised.
The Nasty Boys can't pull any new tricks around here. They've been on tape for the last few weeks. These young men have been watching the show quite a bit, and they know their tactics now.
Gene, there's the fact that any wrestler worth his weight is going to be going in there and viewing a lot of these videotapes in the study, preparing for his matches.
Just like in football, basketball, you watch the tapes of your opponents, and that's what it's all about. You've got to learn your opponent's tactics.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that the Nasty Boys aren't going to have an easy road in the North American Wrestling Association, a pair that you can bet they're going to run into sooner or later, the American Bulldogs. We heard from them earlier. They had some comments.
Nasty Boys, you're looking at two guys. Don't scare too easy. You're going to have to do a little more wrestling and a lot more talking to beat us.
That's right, Nasty Boys. The talking's over. It's time to do what we do best. That's wrestle. And nobody can stop the Bulldogs.
Beautiful maneuver by Mike Servich. And for a moment there, I thought he had both of them pinned. It is now Sags in the ring against Servich. And Byron Richard is calling for the break. I don't understand why, but he is. Tommy Landell makes the tag and comes in. Landell from the second rope, landing on that elbow, applying the pressure, twisting. You can bet that the fans love it when they look at the face of Sags or Knobs and see that expression of pain. And Sags right now is not disappointing anybody.
It only takes 9 pounds of pressure to break the elbow, and they are definitely putting a lot of pressure. These men are trained, though, to be a lot tougher with a good tackle.
Tommy Landell better learn some physics that you know. There's a nice maneuver, nice arm drag coming off the ropes. I was just going to say, that's the way you beat the Nasties. Don't try to take them on head on.
Yeah, take them to the floor. That's what it's all about. If you try to wrestle these men's feet on and standing up with them, you're going to lose because these guys are very big.
Gene, we want to say hi to the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club, which are here watching the matches this evening. We'd like to welcome them aboard, as well as saying hello to Christopher Bristow, who's watching the program in Spartanburg, South Carolina, on WYFF Channel 44 in Greenville. Well, he's watching versus on that satellite dish that was donated by the Make-A-Wish Foundation. 14-year-old Chris Bristow, thank you for watching us tonight. That is Channel 4 in Greenville. I may have said Channel 44, but it's Channel 4. Kurvich trying to come in, and he immediately occupying the referee, which allows Knobs a chance to go in there and help his buddy Sags out of that hole.
A good tactic used by some teams, but not necessarily legal.
You know, you may not like the Nasty Boys, Gene, but you have to say something. These guys are like the Oakland Raiders. They're booed, they're hated everywhere, but they're winners.
That's right.
And they work well as a team. They watch out for each other. Landell right now getting a much-needed breather, though I don't think he appreciated the way that he got there. Boom. Full force, over 300 pounds from the ring apron coming down on the back of his neck. And Landell right now is in pain. Servich trying to come to his aid, and I think he's going to hurt him more than help him. He is ramming.
You got to know when to come in. You got to know when to come in, when not to come in. When your man's on that side, you must stay out of the ring. It looks like you're not trying to help, but the referee, when you come in, will leave that area and come to you because you're the illegal man.
And here comes that suplex from Knobs. He's going to help him back into the ring. That's Sags, actually. Whoa! You know that jarred that entire central nervous system, Coach.
I tell you one thing, your spinal column controls your legs. If your spinal column is weak, your legs will not be working right.
Continue working on that spinal column as he rams him into the turnbuckles. Tommy Landell right now should be looking for a way to make it into the corner to tag with Servich. Back into the turnbuckles again. Boom! Over 300 pounds, square on the chest. I tell you, Landell said it didn't feel this way when I went to the chiropractor. But he's getting the same results. Oh!
Went to the well one time too many.
Too many. And Landell escapes and makes the tag, and we've got a fresh Mike Servich who's firing away. Into the turnbuckle goes Sags, and Servich obviously didn't watch enough videotape on the Nasty Boys.
Little dental surgery after today.
Got a size 14 right there square across the choppers. The tag is made. Knobs comes into the ring. Notice how the Nasties continue to work you over as a pair, as a team, even after the tag is made. Watch this combination right here. Boom! That's got to be curtains. That has got to be curtains. Well, there he is. There he is bragging. That is the equivalent of getting caught in a trap block in football, Coach.
Sure is. Got all full force. Up for a body slam.
Got him up for that nasty body slam, too. That's that power slam followed by the splash from the top rope. Oh. And he had made the tag. Now, remember, he is not the legal man in the ring. Sags is the legal guy in the ring, and Sags is going airborne. Landing on the midsection, hooking that leg. 2, 3. Byron Richards says this match is all over. This one belongs to the Nasty Boys. We've seen them do it 100 times, Gene. Let's take a look at it one more time on our slow motion instant replay. You will see the teamwork that these guys.
Big elbow down across the solar plexus, knocking the wind out of the young man. And a 1, 2, 3 count. Back to you, Ted.
No doubt about it. Don't go away because we've got lots more action coming up in the North American Wrestling Association. Dean Malenko is going to be taking on Kokla Khan.
To my left, weighing 230 pounds from Tampa, Florida, here is Dean Malenko. To my right, weighing 230 pounds from Mongolia, here is Kokla Khan.
Would you like to run into that in a lit alley, not even a dark alley? Holy cow.
That's a rough-looking individual.
Kokla Khan, and he'll be taking on young Dean Malenko. Malenko, we like what we've seen of him so far, Gene.
Excellent amateur style, plus tremendous athletic ability and acrobatic ability. This man has got all the tools.
He'll take it to the air. He'll go on the ground with you, whatever way you want to go. He was trained by the legendary Carl Gotch. So this guy can go downtown. He is a tough second-generation wrestler. Everyone knows his father, the great Boris Malenko.
I watched Boris for many years when I was growing up. That was the meanest man I've ever seen.
I tell you what, and some of that rubbed off on Dean. Colorful trunks being worn by Malenko tonight. It looks like a bottle of Pepto-Bismol may have exploded in his trunks. It's leaking. Look at that. That's part of that acrobatic ability you were talking about. Kokla, I'm sure, has not seen much of this where he comes from. Off the ropes. Catches Malenko. And Malenko this time leapfrog, flying drop kick square on the jaw, and Kokla says, wow. Welcome to America, my friend. Arm drag takedown and twist. Malenko applying the pressure. Don't forget, later on in the program, we'll be going to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where the North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship Tournament is underway. It's in progress, and we hope to be able to catch the championship match. Boy, he powered out of that one nicely.
Little duck under move there, spin under.
Malenko has an impressive amateur career as well as a professional career. Teamed up for many years with his brother Jody Malenko, and they traveled to the Orient quite a bit. Very successful in the Orient, and they picked up quite a bit of knowledge in the Orient as well as what was taught to them by Carl Gotch, and they applied into the ring. You talk about, look at this, great maneuver.
Now I know I'm supposed to tell you what that was.
I know you are. We're going to call it a sugar hole.
There you go.
I can't find that one in the book. That's what I love about watching Dean Malenko in the ring. He shows you something different every week you've never seen before.
If you're looking for a wrestler type, if you're a coach or anything with wrestling, Dean Malenko looks like a wrestler.
That's the prototype, babe. Watch this maneuver. That's a variation of the arm drag and continuing to apply the pressure. Malenko is one of those from the old school. He will work on one part of the body and continue hammering that part of the body until he weakens it.
It just makes sense. If you weaken one part, you got 5 basic parts: the 2 legs, 2 arms, and the head.
That's it.
If you weaken one part, you're ahead of the game.
And Malenko subscribes to that theory that if you control the head, you control the body.
That's right.
He has demonstrated that over the years time and time again. Sal Correnti is the referee for this match. Dino Malenko in the ring against Kokla. Malenko and Khan testing each other there for leverage and strength. Chest to chest right now. Applying the pressure. This guy Malenko, I'll tell you, he is a strong competitor. Khan doesn't look like a guy who's going to give up much either.
Well, some people have inner strength in Kokla. I tell you, this man has been around. You can look at his face and just tell the rough battles he's been in. A good maneuver.
Great leg dive takedown by Malenko. Great leg dive takedown. Now he's applying that pressure.
This he learned from his father.
This is patented Boris Malenko. That pressure right now. There he bridges, continuing to apply that pressure. And I tell you, Kokla hasn't run into somebody like this in a long, long time. Going for those trunks right now. Boy, it didn't work to his advantage, did it, Gene?
Sure did. He's pulling right back down on top of him.
Yes, sir. Malenko now says, take that, Kokla. Malenko is a great tactician to watch in the ring. He is a guy that likes to gain control, likes to take control, apply pressure to parts of the body, and stay with that part of the body. And even though, Kokla there looked like he was trying to apply pressure and instead raked the eyes.
The old proverbial rake the eye.
Wow. A chop heard all the way back up here to our booth.
There's the martial arts that Kokla has offered.
Kokla has a heck of a reputation behind him. Malenko ran into the foot that time and catches another chop, and he's in trouble right now. Khan going for the press. 1, 2, Malenko powers out.
Kokla is opening up on Malenko. Malenko must not get lackadaisical.
A guy like Dean Malenko, I tell you, is a joy to watch. I see this man week after week after week. I've watched him for years, Gene, and I can tell you, every week he's going to show you something different.
Well, the promoter has put him against some good wrestlers. Each week he has a little bit tougher wrestler each week, and he's showing his ability to overcome adversity.
I'll tell you, Malenko is not a stranger to this particular hold. The nerves are being attacked on the neck and shoulder. The claw that is being applied by Khan right now is virtually making that left arm paralyzed.
That's right.
It's basically what it does, it cuts off the circulation and the signals from the brain to the arm.
And believe me, if you've got any kind of numbness in any part of the body, it's a little slower than the rest of the body.
Well, that right hand was not numb, and he used that to power out into the pit. Powers out at the count of 2, and once again going back to that neck. Malenko right now, I can assure you, is feeling a tingling sensation in that left hand at about this point.
Sure is. You notice that the trapezius muscle is being squeezed very tightly, causing the blood circulation down the left arm.
If you're familiar with acupuncture, vision this as acupressure. He is applying pressure to basically the same nerve endings as a Chinese doctor would with acupressure. And that right now is wearing down the strength of Dean Malenko. You can see the grimacing face showing signs of definitely being in trouble in this match.
It doesn't take a lot of power to cut off that nerve either. Just knowing exactly where to put it.
You watch those little doctors, they're about 130 pounds, and they use just a couple of fingers and make you numb. Imagine what he's feeling right now. Khan, well over 200 pounds. And Khan looks like he knows what he's doing on that nerve. Well, I'll tell you what, if he pinned Malenko, we'd be in for a heck of an upset today, wouldn't we?
Sure would.
Malenko breaks loose, catches him with a flying knee lift, and Khan is stunned.
Notice the left arm.
Khan is stunned. My Lord, did you see that, Gene?
Tremendous knee lift. Got great height.
Flying knee lift. Off the ropes, flying drop kick. Kokla, Khan is stunned. Malenko coming back, going for the suplex. He's got him in the suplex. A tremendous suplex. Going for the cover. 1, 2. Khan powers out. Into the ropes. Malenko. Backdrop. Going for the pin again. Correct, he counts. 1, 2, and Khan is out.
Just can't put him away.
Ooh, take that head to the stomach. And then, of course, the little shortcut.
Little thumb to the eyes. It blinds you just temporarily, but everything's foggy right now. Your left arm's tired. Now your back's being raked. Everything is being punished on this man right now.
I'll tell you, Khan better go to the well because, you know, he was running into a little trouble there. Malenko making a tremendous comeback. He got him with that clothesline, that lariat. Khan goes for the cover. 1, 2, Malenko kicks out. You're going to have to really go downtown to take Dino Malenko in on a pin like that. That's a great competitor. And there goes Khan, the shoulder in. Belly to belly. Oh, bridge. 1, 2. Bye-bye, Lola. This one belongs to Dean Malenko. The winner of this match, Dean Malenko with a belly-to-belly suplex. Coach, let's take a look at that work of art on our slow-motion instant replay camera. You will see Malenko describe the action as we see it on our screens.
Kokla Khan shoots the Dean Malenko off, and Dean makes a good reversal move, ducks under, hip high, big salto. 1, 2, 3. Take it away, Tim.
Don't go away. There's more action coming up on the North American Wrestling Association.
July 22nd at 8 p.m. Tickets on sale at the Coliseum box office and Ticketron outlets. You will see such stars as Mark Fleming, Ranger Ross, and the girl wrestlers are coming back. Dean Malenko and Vince Torrelli with Paul Jones in their corner will be taking on the Nasty Boys. And the War Eagle Chris Chavis versus Maniac Matt Bourne. And an NAWA title match, the champion Robert Fuller will go up against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, do you know what you're looking at? Do you know what you're looking at? The clash and the flash of professional wrestling personified. How about it? Let me tell you, I don't like nothing about Greensboro, North Carolina, but one thing. Dean Malenko, Vince Torrelli, get ready. And Paul Jones, if you want to step in there, we'll punch your teeth out too. Because everybody knows a city boy can take Southern folk.
260 pounds from Pembroke. Here is Chris War Eagle Chavis. His opponent weighing 230 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, here is Mike Crockett.
Well, we're going to have us a case of Cowboys and Indians here. War Eagle Chris Chavis certainly rising to the top of the ladder here in the North American Wrestling Association. Certainly one of the crowd favorites. And I tell you what, you see him getting a little better and a little meaner every week.
What a physical specimen this man is. Looks like he's been training even harder since the last time I saw him.
Gene, I remember when I used to look like that.
What was that, Ted?
Quite a few years ago. Quite a few years ago. Take it on Mike Crockett from Nashville, Tennessee. Crockett, a tough competitor, and should prove to be a formidable test for War Eagle Chris Chavis. Well, I tell you, the folks that are coming to the North American Wrestling Association matches are getting their money's worth and then some. You'll be looking for it. We will be coming into your town soon, and when we do, come on down and enjoy yourself. Family, bring the entire family and watch the best of professional wrestling. When you see that seal, the NAWA, you are assured of the finest in professional wrestling. Mike Crockett in for a pit stop right now, realizing perhaps that War Eagle is a little tougher than he might have imagined.
Well, if he had any doubt, he ought to look real hard across that ring and say, I'm going to go back to the ring and work out myself.
No doubt about it. Referee for this match is Byron Richard, giving the count to Mike Crockett. I wonder if he's any relation to Davey. Tennessee, Davey, Crockett. You know, we're talking about people that are coming to the North American Wrestling Association, and we understand that a tough guy, and a guy that I know that you're familiar with, Curtis Thompson, is on his way in. In fact, we heard from Curtis Thompson, who had these comments to make.
Hey, Carolina, you're looking at 247 pounds of twisted steel and ain't nothing but sex appeal. And my name is Curtis Thompson, and I am the U.S. Mail. And just like the U.S. Mail, I deliver. You know, it's just like the song says, MC Hammer. You can't touch this because I can touch everybody.
Well, tough words, and from what I hear, he can back them up.
Well, Curtis, I've known Curtis for a while. That's the first time I've seen him in about 2 years, because I helped get him into wrestling, and the man has changed his attitude tremendously.
No doubt about that. He is determined, though. War Eagle Chris Chavis. Into the ropes goes Crockett. He's got him for that side suplex. And he doesn't want to pin him. You know, Chris, I think, understands that he needs workout as well as exposure on the TV. And I think he's going to take advantage of all the time that he's got in this match right now to work with Mike Crockett.
Well, just like some football teams and basketball teams, you know, you've got an opponent that you think you've got him in hand. You try different things to see if they'll work. And Chris, of course, that can backfire.
It can. It certainly can. I think right now, basically, what Chris Chavis is trying to do is to send a message. I think he's trying to send a message right now.
Well, the message is loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Into the ropes. Practicing those nice snapmare. He was working over Mike Crockett's belly rather nicely with that knee, I might add.
Well, I tell you, he's showing me something he didn't have before, a lot more aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. He's sending a message out right now. A few weeks ago, you would have never seen Chris Chavis be that aggressive.
No, he usually sat back a little bit too much, and now he's learned a little something the last few weeks. NAWA has not got a bunch of slouches in here. We've got some tough individuals. He's got to work very hard.
When you come to the ring, bring your lunch with you, because some days it's an all-day job. Byron Richard checking out there to make sure that no choke is being applied, and none is. Clearly a very legal hold. At that reverse chin lock, and of course Crockett trying to go for the eyes right now, trying anything desperately to extricate himself, with no luck, I might add. Up to his feet, and there's that elbow to the midsection, but I tell you what, he's got a pretty hard rock midsection. It's going to take quite a few of those if you want to really hurt the guy. There's the elbow to the chin, and that's something that I don't think Chris Chavis was expecting there. Byron Richard cautioning him about the top rope. Crockett all the way to the top rope, and this could backfire. This will backfire all the way from the top rope. Body slam, and he landed square on his butt.
I could just imagine how that would feel.
That has got to be pain. You know, that jars that spinal column, and that affects every part of the body, not just the buttocks that he landed on, but the neck, the legs, his hands are probably tingling right now as a result of that.
Well, a whiplash works the same way. And of course, Chris sitting back a little bit, now tightening down.
He's trying to get Chris out of the ring, and he reverses it, and he's got him into his ring. And I'll tell you what, Crockett's back is taking its share of punishment right now. War Eagle Chavis trying to send out a message. He's on the warpath, and there's that little dance. And when you see that little dance, you know that the end can't be far behind. Tomahawk chop to the top of the head. Crockett with a headache right now. And up again, barring that arm. Chris Chavis going to fire him off the ropes, and as he comes back, tremendous chop to the throat. Tremendous chop to the throat. That's what I call an inverted Heimlich maneuver. He's got him up. He's got him up. He's putting him up in that, what would you call that, Gino?
It's a reverse backdrop.
A reverse backdrop is what it was. And Mike Crockett is history. The winner of this match, Chris Chavis, War Eagle. Through the magic of technology and our slow motion instant replay camera. Let's take a look at that one more time, Coach. Describe the action as it comes up on the screen.
Well, crisscross set him up at a fireman's carry, And this right here, he just dives straight back, lands on the back dropping him very hard.
Byron Richards
1, 2, 3. 2, 3.
Don't go away. We've got a lot more action coming up right here from the North American Wrestling Association.
Comes to the Greensboro Coliseum Sunday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. Tickets on sale at the Coliseum box office and Ticketron outlets. You will see such stars as Mark Fleming, Ranger Ross, and the girls will be coming back. Dean Malenko and Vince Torrelli with Paul Jones will be taking on the Nasty Boys. And the War Eagle Chris Chavis in a singles match against Matt Bourne. And in a North American Heavyweight Championship match, the Tennessee stud Robert Fuller will be taking on challenger Ricky Steamboat. With me, I have Paul Jones, Vince Torrelli.
One thing I want to tell you right now, George, Steamboat, as far as I'm concerned, he's the champion right now. And as far as I'm concerned, after Greensboro, Steamboat will be wearing that belt around his waist. Now you look at these two men here. This is going to be their biggest test, going up against the Nasty Boys. Well, let me tell you something, Nasty Boys. You downgrade everybody in the South. But one thing for sure, these men are proud to be down here, and they'll be proud to beat you in front of all the rest of us Southern people.
Vince, Dean, I know you're going to have your hands full.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know, it's times like this when I'm glad that I got somebody like Vince Torrelli in my corner. As far as the Nasty Boys are concerned, you know, it's been a long time since I've had a partner like Vince Torrelli. And I'll tell you, we're there for one thing, and that's one thing only, to get the job done. And with the victory here, and something I'm looking forward to having, and I know my buddy here, Vince Torrelli, also is too, is that's just one stepping stone onwards in North American Pro Wrestling.
And Greensboro is where it's going to happen. Let's go, man.
And with me right now, the War Eagle Chris Chavis going up against Maniac Matt Bourne. It's going to be a tough one.
Well, first of all, I want to do is say hello to all my fans out there in Greensboro and all the little Braves that I have out there that support me. I want to make sure that you're here at this match with me and Matt Bourne. And let me tell you something, Matt Bourne. You remember, you think you're a maniac, you remember the battle of the Little Bighorn? Well, just visualize yourself as Custer. And I'm the one that's going to take you down. It's going to be a massacre. So when we get together, you better be ready in Greensboro, because we're going to put all the power that I have to destroy you and totally put you out of professional wrestling forever. So you better be ready when we get together, and we're going to see how much of a maniac you are to compete with the War Eagle. That's all I have to say.
Remember, that's Sunday, July 22nd, the Greensboro Coliseum. Be there.
The next contest of the evening in the ring at this time, weighing 245 pounds from Jackson, Mississippi, here is Alan Kinsey. His opponent now making his way to the ring, weighing 230 pounds from Acworth, Georgia, here is Ranger Ross.
You talk about a bona fide, true American hero. You got one right here in Ranger Ross. And I got to tell you something, Gene Ligon, they're in the process of making a movie on this young man's life. This is a man that spent 8 years in the Army in the Rangers division, and you know that these guys are tough. He fought in the Iran rescue mission in 1980, the Grenada invasion in 1983, patrolled the jungles of El Salvador in 1985. I can tell you that this guy doesn't back away from anything. He is a toughie and a smoothie. He was on that all-Army wrestling team, wrestled Greco-Roman, so he's got an impressive amateur background.
Makes you proud to be an American to see a young man like this in the ring, showing all the good sides of America. And then you got two dudes just came out here and gave an interview with you.
Well, I tell you, the fans out there are pretty smart. They know who the heroes are. And this guy here's a hero. You know what you're going to see a lot of? This guy is trained in the martial arts, and he's a trained wrestler. This guy is a trained, lean, mean fighting machine. You're going to see a lot of action. You're seeing it right now. Alan Kinsey has his hands full, my friend. Don't forget, we are going to be going to Winston-Salem. We're going to catch the North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship Tournament in progress. We're going to be switching there right after this match. Okay, so keep it right here. In fact, hopefully we'll have the championship match in progress or just about ready to start when we switch over. Ranger Ross making his North American Wrestling Association debut in there against Alan Kinsey. Look at that maneuver. Kinsey was looking for him and ran into a little savate kick. 1, 2, 3, it is all over. It did not take long for Ranger Ross Ross to establish himself a winner right here on the North American Wrestling Association. Ranger Ross, let's take a look at that one more time on the slow motion instant replay camera, Gene, because this is a work of art. This is one I want to look at and savor. You describe the action.
An arm whip as it comes off. He does a forward roll. Comes up as Alan Kinsey turns around. Whop. Right on the jaw.
Right on the kisser, buddy. Right on the spot.
You don't get no better than that.
No,
1, 2, 3 for the count.
And the winner of this match, Ranger Ross. We are going to be switching to Winston-Salem, North Carolina next to join the North American Wrestling Championship Tournament in progress. Stay tuned. Fuller for the NAWA Heavyweight Championship title.
Let me tell you something. Don't let that little tummy this fella has fool you, because some of the great wrestlers of the past did not look like Mr. Americas, but they were still great wrestlers.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well, we can go back in history and trace a bunch of tremendous wrestlers that appeared to have that little pouch out there that were outstanding.
I'll name you one. Ed Stranger Lewis dominated wrestling for 25 years. They couldn't find anyone to beat him.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Aha, I like this.
Yeah.
That'll get things moving.
That certainly will.
I like it.
I'll tell you what, whoever wins the North American Heavyweight Championship crown tonight is going to have a tough task on their hands defending it, because the list of eligible challengers goes on and on and on. And we got us some wild action in the middle of the ring. Matt Bourne, the Maniac, trading punches and chops with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This is the semifinal round. The winner of this match will earn the right to meet Robert Fuller for the crown. Sal Carenti, the referee, wants to step in there, but he's got better sense.
Not that foolish.
He says, give me a megaphone and I'll tell him to break from the other end of the ring.
Right. Write him a letter.
Matt Bourne with a front face lock. Boy, that's a strong man, I tell you. And he is left-handed.
He's hanging on, right?
Hanging on. Going to the ropes. Carenti now calls for the break. Oh, that's a change of pace to see Steamboat firing on the break. But I guess when in Rome, do as the Romans.
Got to, man.
Great block. Well, these guys are not going to waste too much time with wrestling maneuvers here.
No.
They're just basically duking it out. Whoa! And the steamer went down like one of those big sequoias.
I'm telling you.
The Maniac now taunting him, slapping him. Applying 260 pounds of pressure on that neck as well. Boom! Square on the jaw.
He's throwing him in there.
Yes, he is. You know, Ricky's taken an awful lot of punishment in this tournament so far.
I know.
He has not drawn an easy opponent, and each and every one of them takes a little more out of him. Oh! You can't help but get excited when you see that big tomahawk chop coming down.
Yeah, something's got to happen.
He's giving him an IQ test on the turnbuckles. You know, we're going to knock some sense into you. And you know, in all fairness to Matt Bourne, he had a tough match in the last round against Ranger Ross. Whoa! Excedrin headache number 9. 1 and 2, and Matt Bourne kicks out. This match has a 20-minute time limit. The winner will earn the right to take on Robert Fuller for the North American Wrestling Association Heavyweight Championship. You were there, a piece of history that you witnessed. 20 years from now, when they ask that question, who was the first North American Wrestling Association champ, you'll be able to answer it. It'll be one of 3 men. Robert Fuller, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, or Maniac Matt Bourne?
Wow. Oh, that knee's something, man.
Uh-oh. Ricky may have hurt himself. 5 minutes has elapsed right now. 5 minutes has elapsed in the match. And Ricky hit that knee square
The knee's
on
a
Matt
knockout.
Bourne's head.
Yeah, the knee is really a knockout punch.
It is.
A lot of people don't know that, but that's devastating.
I'll tell you what, though. I will tell you what. You can tear a meniscus ligament very easily hurting that knee like that.
I know.
Matt Bourne is knocked out. The referee counting on the both of them. Steamboat gets to his feet. And he is hurt. I'll tell you what, Ricky Steamboat really has done a terrible job. Uh-oh. And Bourne going to work on that leg. Well, that's the veteran that he is. You got to go after that weak minnow.
That's right. That's right.
And right now, the weak minnow appears to be that right knee of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Oh, my Lord. Matt Bourne now causing a tremendous amount of hurt. He has him in that spinning toe hold. And Ricky...
That's it. That's the wrap-up.
2, 3.
That's it. That's wrestling.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has won the match.
A wrestler is like a snake. He's got you no matter what you're doing. He's got you somewhere.
6:13 of the match. 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Your winner is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who has won the match, but I'm not sure if he won the war. And coming back in to administer more punishment is Matt Bourne. Here you'll see on the replay going for that spinning toe hold made famous by Dory Funk. And there goes Rick. Hooks him up in that cradle.
Oh, yeah.
2 and 3. Severely injuring his leg in his match against Matt Bourne in the semifinals. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is set to meet Robert Fuller for the NAWA Heavyweight Championship belt. We'll join the ring action in progress right now. This is for the title.
135 pounds from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. His opponent weighing 250 pounds from Tennessee, the Tennessee stud Robert Fuller.
That break, that 2-minute intermission was sufficient.
No, it wasn't. No.
It was not sufficient.
No,
Steamboat, he is favoring that leg, Lou.
I know.
And look who goes to work on it right away.
I think with Bourne and Tennessee stud, it seems to be a little collusion there.
I tell you what, I cannot help but agree with you. It just seems to me, I mean, it's just much too obvious that Matt Bourne, realizing that he had no shot at the crown, wanted to make sure that Ricky would have a shot.
Why would he do that? I mean, for no other reason.
I'll tell you what. Fuller has a tremendous advantage right now. He's fighting a guy who's on 1 foot. And Ricky is a game competitor. But look at it. Fuller going to work again on that leg.
Double-legged him and took him down. He's got the bad one.
He's got that bad leg and continues to apply the punishment to it. Ricky is hurt. Ricky has hurt that knee. And I'll tell you, I'm not a doctor, but that appears to be some ligament damage.
Could very possibly be.
The way he's favoring it, the way that the leg was injured, I've seen it happen oh so many times in the past. Fuller wasting no time going to work on that leg.
That's what it is.
Ramming it on the side of the ring. Robert Fuller continues to apply the punishment. Sal Carenti, man, I can't even bear to watch this. I cannot even bear to watch this. He is now inflicting the kind of punishment that in some cases has rendered an athlete helpless, a career-ending injury. He's got him up. Oh, what a nice maneuver. But look at Ricky. Ricky could not sustain himself, and he's going in for that spinning toe hold. It is all over. It is all over. In 1 minute and 57 seconds of the match, the winner of the match and the brand new North American heavyweight champion, the North American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion, is Robert Fuller. And I've got to tell you, you've got to give an assist to Matt Bourne, because Robert Fuller didn't beat Ricky Steamboat. He beat a half of Ricky Steamboat. There you can see Steamboat trying to get out, and he lands on that leg. No strength in it at all. That spinning toe hold going into a lateral press. Steamboat is hurt. Ricky Steamboat is hurt. Oh my! Let us take it to the ring right now, because my partner at ringside, Lou Thesz, is going in there to make the presentation. He is going to present the North American Heavyweight Championship belt to, I have to say, an undeserving Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. Not that Fuller is not a great competitor, not that he is not a powerful wrestler, but he took advantage of a less than 100% Ricky Steamboat. Let us turn it over to Fabian Fuentes, our ring announcer, who will make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present the heavyweight belt to Robert Fuller, here is Lou Thesz.
Thank you very much. Robert Fuller is going to be awarded the championship belt. However, I would like to say something, Mr. Fuller.
Anything, Lou.
Between Mr. Bourne and you, there had to be some sort of collusion arrangement, because this could not have happened without some help from the outside. And I will give you the belt under protest.
You darn right.
The North American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion, the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller.
Your new champion, the first one in the history of the North American Wrestling Association, Robert Fuller, and I have to agree 100% with Lou Thesz. Present the belt to Fuller, but under protest. It was obvious to those of us that were watching that there had to be some form of collusion.
I mean, our hearts are with you. Your knee is hurt. Man, we're sorry.
Well, you know something, Ted, you know, thank you for the kind words, but that's all part of this type of a business that I'm in, whether what the people believe or what they want to believe or not. But this is what happens in the course of a match. It happens in the course of a tournament such as we had tonight. It's been happening, things like this have been happening more so in the last 5 years because of the notoriety the wrestlers have been getting, the publicity they've been getting, the national covers that these guys have been given. This man came over from Tennessee. He came, he saw, and he conquered, and he told everybody what he was going to do. But I'm not a beaten dog, not now. No. I'm a devoted wrestler, and I'm sure a lot of the wrestling fans out there and a lot of the wrestlers that were backstage were wondering what kind of man, what kind of wrestler I was. Did I come back in shape? Did I come back with the heart of a tiger, the heart of a lion? Have I got that one more desire to go on? I'm a devoted wrestler, and I've always been a devoted wrestler. Have I kept myself out of the game for too long? A big question a lot of people were asking themselves. Do I have to get up and go? Do I have it anymore? Well, I'll tell you something, Tennessee stud. I've started this long, hard, tearful, painful campaign. And I'm not going to let any of these fans down. I'm going to go on and keep going on until I win that belt. I'm going to go on for all the wrestling fans, and I'm going to go on for myself and for my family. The promotion one more time will see me rise to the top like the cream, and I'll bring the gold home. The next time when you meet me, you Tennessee dud, I won't have a gimp leg. I won't have a wounded wing. I'll be 100%.
Ricky, you need to get back in there and get some ice on that knee because it's blown up. Please, please, please. Ricky, the Dragon Steamboat, if we can, we'd like to get the brand new North American Wrestling Association heavyweight champion, Mr. Robert Fuller.
We heard the agony of defeat. Let's get the thrill of victory in here. You know, I came in here. This is just another tournament to me. I win them wherever I go, but I heard you had some tough ones here. You had some guys going out ready to win the most influential belt going down right now, and I said I want to be right in the middle of it. But as this tournament went on, the longer it went on, I saw these disgusting fans out here got no respect for me nor the state I come from, and I started wanting to win this darn thing. I mean, little feller, I started wanting to win it, and I knew right then, when I felt it, baby, there wasn't no man alive that could beat me. And I proved it because I took the fire out of your dragon, Daddy. And anybody out here got any questions about it, you're looking right now at the toughest man in America, the North American champion, the legendary Tennessee stud.
Well,
and
sir,
don't you forget it, baby.
Sir, I do have some questions. I do have some questions that I have to ask you, and that is...
Give it to me, Daddy.
How can you feel so cocky about having won the belt under the conditions by which you wanted it? And you ought to give half of that to Matt Bourne.
let me tell you something. You go right now. You find Matt Bourne. You ask him who the champion is. You ask him who this belt belongs around the waist of. Matt Bourne's going to tell you right away. He went in there and he gave it to Steamboat. He gave it to him good, Daddy. And all I did was just like I beat the man that I was with before him, I took him out the same way. I said it once, I'll say it again. I took your fire out of your dragon. I'm your champion from Tennessee.
Sting and the World Heavyweight